Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is wonderful to be back out here for a gorgeous sunrise walk and run over here at Caribbean Beach. I'm going to give everybody just a moment to join, and then we're going to get started for our 45-minute walk, run, jog, have your morning cup of coffee, walk around here at Caribbean Beach. Good to see you, Fred, EJ, good morning. Karina, Matt Birchfield, Stitch Lover, good morning. Lindsay, good to see you. So we are going to get started. Aussie Down Under, good morning. Let me get myself all together. With this morning view, I love the view of the Skyliner over the lake there. I'll say good morning real quick. So we are here at Caribbean Beach. I thought this was just kind of a beautiful place to start. We're gonna do 45 minutes, which is about a couple loops around here. We're gonna go past the Riviera. So I'm going to set my watch so we can get going, and you guys can too. So let's go ahead and get started. We can talk about everything related to Caribbean Beach, Riviera. We'll talk about fitness and motivation. It should be a beautiful morning to be out, a great way to kick off this Friday, this weekend. Kelly, hello. Lorraine, Diane, good to see you. So I've got my watch all started so that we keep our time. This was just a perfect morning to go out. It definitely is gorgeous weather. The summers can be a little bit questionable because usually our storms are in the afternoon, but it is the rainy season, so you do never know. You can get some morning hot temperatures or storms, but the sunrise as I was driving in was just stunning. I loved it. It was a great drive over here. So we started out at Caribbean Beach, and as much as I say, oh, we're starting, and now we're leaving. So long, Caribbean Beach, but just for a moment because we're going to head past the Riviera Resort, but we'll be mostly in this trail that is around the Caribbean Beach. Did you know that this space also was Caribbean Beach? They removed the buildings in the area from Caribbean Beach over here to build the Riviera Resort. If you have not gotten a chance to check out the Riviera Resort, someday we'll stream over there again. Every now and again we pop in there depending on what we're doing, or if we're doing a stream about the Skyliners. But it is just really, really nicely done in there between the architecture and the artwork in the Riviera Resort. I love the mosaic that is just right outside, and the fountains piece that's right outside the Skyliner of the Riviera Resort. Maybe I'll even pop through there because I just like it so much. It just makes my heart happy. There's a Tangled theme, mosaic artwork, and a Peter Pan right here at the Riviera. This is kind of the edge of their pool area. And obviously there's nobody out there yet. The morning's just getting started. Not too many people out and about, but they have a nice pool area. They even have, I guess, what I would call a quiet pool. It's just kind of a rectangle shape more for relaxing. Oh, there's a little bunny kind of hanging out. Melissa, good morning. JB, yeah, go ahead, take that real long walk over to your desk on the other side. It's fine. Maybe you're taking a quick walk to your kitchen table with a cup of coffee. That's okay too. Susan Taylor. Well, it will be wonderful. You're gonna come run the half marathon. That is exciting. Congratulations. The half marathon distance is truly one of my favorite distances as far as running is concerned. 5Ks are fun because usually if I'm picking up and running a 5K, it's because there's usually some fun flair to it. You see all sorts of 5Ks that have really fun theming to them. But the half marathons, which are 13.1 miles, I really enjoy. You know, I'll come down through this Riviera area instead of just walking around. We got time. We got plenty of time to hang out. Awesome. And Laura's on her treadmill. London Tom, thanks for watching. Yeah, we are doing 45 minutes. Instead of it being more of a theme park focused stream, we're out here talking a lot more about fitness, maybe how you can incorporate that if you are training in any way here at Walt Disney World property. We'll walk right through my favorite area. This is their fitness center that we just went past. It is actually a pretty large fitness center. Good morning, Aussie Down Under. Adam is doing wonderful. He is probably getting ready for work right now, and we'll head out in just a little bit. So the Riviera is fairly new. It is the newest of the Disney resorts. Well, I guess maybe you could consider the Galactic Star Cruiser, but that's kind of, you know, sore subject. See, look, this artwork here on the wall with the tangled lanterns and her house, her tower. And then the next one is for Peter Pan over here. And this little entranceway here is just, I don't know, I just really enjoy it. I love taking photos up against those backgrounds. I don't know. I want to make, I love going through there. It makes me smile. So that's why we went in there. Otherwise, no, normally I would not run in my morning through there. So now that we enjoyed that little detour through the path of the Riviera, we'll get back into the Caribbean Beach Resort area. And yes, to build the Skyliner, there is actually two entrances. This is Epcot on one side. And if you want to proceed down further towards Art of Animation, Pop Century, there's the other line. So there's two entrances, one on the side that I just showed you and the one over here. Oh, sorry, this is Epcot over here. That is correct. But any time of day, really, to take a walk along this particular path is just very peaceful. To me, it's very relaxing. It's a great running trail, jogging trail, walking trail here at Walt Disney World, probably because the length of the Caribbean beach. It's about 200 acres just for the Caribbean Beach Resort. That's a large plot of land. So we'll head back here into the Caribbean beach. So at sunrise and sunset, you can take some really beautiful photos from this particular resort because they've got a lot of space, kind of like this beach that we're walking along, where you could maybe have family photos. Maybe you just enjoy photography. There's a lot of places in this particular resort that I really enjoy and have personally taken some beautiful shots. Not to mention the Riviera Resort that we just went through. They have Topolino's, which is one of Adam and I's very favorite restaurants. They have the most epic breakfast in all of Walt Disney World. I didn't really understand the hype before, and then I thought, well, it's a character breakfast. I heard it's good. We'll check it out. We did that about, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, something like that. Not quite a year ago. And my eyes were opened. My life was changed. And I said, I understand now. This breakfast that's at Topolino's, which is the top floor of the Riviera, hands down, there's no other breakfast that compares. For sure. So if breakfast is something on your list, so for me, I know it's probably awful, probably terrible to say. I don't advise it for others, but I'm not really a breakfast person. I just don't really eat breakfast. I don't prefer it. I'd rather have a cup of coffee or juice or whatever it is in the morning, and I'll have an earlier lunch, like maybe 11:30 or right at 12. There are so many bunnies out. There is clearly a large bunny population. I just saw like 3 of them back there too. So I highly recommend, if that's something on your list for travel here to Walt Disney World, definitely check it out. And you can get some beautiful photos from the top of Topolino's, as I was saying. Most importantly, those photos at sunset from the top of the Riviera. There's been some gorgeous ones, especially when there's storms and the storms are kind of clearing around that dusk sunset time frame. Oh my goodness, we have some great photos. I definitely cannot lie about that. But Adam and I have come over here a number of times just to take a quiet walk along this peaceful walkway here. And this resort is their oldest moderate resort, the Caribbean beach, I should say, because we were just talking about Riviera, which is the newest and the newest deluxe. But the Caribbean beach is the oldest. It was actually opened as the first moderate resort in 1988. And it is extremely spread out. But as I was saying a little bit ago, they have removed some of the buildings and they built the Riviera. So it housed so much, they probably could even take down a few more buildings at the opposite end and build another resort in its place easily. I know this is a top resort for many people. Adam has a lot of memories coming here as a kid. Lots of people have made this kind of their go-to resort for their family year after year after year. They're in the process of renovating as well. So there used to be a number of rooms that were pirate themed that they've started renovating those if you're interested in any of the pieces from the Pirate Resort rooms. There's lots of Pirates of the Caribbean pieces, I think, still left. And you can purchase them from our friends at Vault Collectibles. They're about 30 minutes away from Walt Disney World property. Pretty awesome antique dealer that Adam and I have become friends with over time. And they get some pretty cool pieces from Disney when they're doing renovations. Wonderful. Is it all 100% remodeled? I don't think that it is, because I was just back a few buildings ago. They had some of their kind of construction fencing up, and kind of a punch list from construction terms. You could see it up on the windows of the rooms. So it doesn't look like they're 100% remodeled at this point. But I would say they got to be pretty close. And maybe that building just had some small things. Maybe they were renovating, not necessarily renovating, but doing some annual maintenance on some of it. JB, and you're coming down 2 weeks to see at Riviera Beach, another very nice DVC Disney resort. And 2 weeks at Old Key West. I need to get over to Old Key West. It's been quite a bit of time for me. I haven't been over there recently. But that also is really beautiful. I love all the landscaping because there's all these big mature trees and lots of shading. There's a golf course over there in Saratoga Springs, connected to Old Key West. So fun fact, Adam and I were there running over at Saratoga Springs, kind of Old Key West. And if you are over there taking a walk or jog or just kind of hanging out with your family, make sure, excellent, we'll walk straight over. Just keep moving, just keep moving. You're at 15 minutes already into this walk. So we'll head down even further and then we'll go back into the Caribbean Beach Loop. So Adam and I, as I was saying, we're down at Old Key West the last time. We were running through there, just kind of chatting, enjoying each other's company, more Run Disney training. And they have signs, be careful, but for the golf course paths, no running on the golf course paths, because they have sidewalks and trailways for anybody who's just kind of out and about, like the one that we're on right now. But then there are pathways for those that are using the golf course. And I guess we didn't notice some of the signage, or because it's small, it's not massively marked. And before you know it, we're like in the middle of the golf course. We're so confused where we had went wrong. So we ended up backtracking, trying to find exactly where we needed to go. So it was fun at the time. We were laughing, trying to figure out. There's us like running. We're in the middle. Somebody's trying to tee off at the golf course. We're like, sorry. We weren't in the grass or anything. We were legitimately on the sidewalk, but still a kind of a funny story that Adam and I chuckle about every now and again. Like, remember that time we got lost and wound ourselves up on the golf course? Oh, just things you get into. But I can imagine that happens. It's more common because they just have like small little signs towards the bottom of the grass there, where it says, it usually has an arrow marked like golf course this way, trail that way. Here's one of a couple restaurants that they have. This is the Spygrass Grill. It is a quick service. It's not a sit down. So they also have Sebastian's, it should be called, which is at the main clubhouse area. We'll get to there in a little bit. But this Spyglass Grill, I feel like I just butchered that. Spyglass Grill is great for these rooms that are pretty far down from the main area. And don't fret, this may have a lot of rooms and very expansive property, but there is pools. So if you're out enjoying your long run walk, and now it is blazing hot as it is in Florida all the time, you can go ahead, just when you're finished, you know, use the shower by the pool a little bit, because you know that's important, and then cool off in the pool near your room. But look at this. This is how far out this little area was built. It goes right down real close up to where the Pop Century / Art of Animation land area is. And you can kind of see in the corner here the Skyliners headed down that way. Finally getting down towards the Trinidad buildings here, and then we'll turn back around. So we are getting near our halfway point. If you are out and about with me or out on the treadmill, congratulations. It is a beautiful morning to be out and about. Great job for getting out there, putting one foot in front of the other. And if today is your day to kick it up a notch, definitely now is the time. You have got about half of the walk left. Maybe give it a little extra go. So we're going to do a U-turn right here. Kind of come back. Boop, boop, boop. This is the end of the line. So we'll make the walk back. But yes, you are so right. Jason's Adventures, Trinidad buildings are a walk. However, you know, find the positivity in everything. To me, one, maybe you'll get a few extra steps in. That's never bad. But it is very quiet right here. Very quiet. So to me, if I had some of these rooms here, this is a beautiful view you can see of this little river lake area and the Skyliner in front of you, seeing the sunset when it comes around overhead. This has got to be beautiful to sit and look out the window in the morning or the evening when you're done. Now the buses, the Skyliner is right here. So we walk past 2 different Skyliner stations, since we're still talking about the resorts a little bit. I'll turn the camera just a little bit so you can see Skyliner station, second one. This is the Caribbean Beach station. And then the other station was over at Riviera. So you can see it's not hard to walk in between. If there's a really long line at one, because occasionally that does happen, more than likely you could pick up. You could walk over to the other one depending on where you're headed, what you're doing, where you're going. Oh, and I was talking about the Spyglass market here, but the pool is right at this area as well, for this area, this section. But as a moderate choice, I think this is a pretty beautiful resort. A great option if you are looking for a moderate resort that has a lot of beautiful grounds. For me, I'm looking for something just like Caribbean Beach. Port Orleans is kind of on that level as well, where it's peaceful, it's enjoyable. Because when I vacation, it's great to be in the chaos and the excitement and all of the activities of the theme parks. But let's face it, it can be very overwhelming. And it's really nice to have some place where you can come home to, kind of relax. I love that they have the little beach sections where you can just relax, maybe read a book, hang out in the hammock. And there is not dozens of people around, because there are some of the resorts that are a little bit more crowded than others. They're a little bit less peaceful, I'll say. But that is the benefit of having these really spread out resorts. Good morning, Carol. Always be honest. That's what I would say. If you're looking to come to the resorts, there's a couple things. One, sometimes I park at the parks. So depending on which resort I'm walking at, sometimes I park at the parks. When I am at you can park at the parking lot, and then you can take the Skyliner, or we'll let this golf cart go. She's been trying to get by all the people. If you are, or I'll go to the guard gate and be honest. It depends what I'm here for. So if I'm just wanting to take a walk and enjoy the resort, I'll tell them that. If I'm going there to eat and maybe I want to grab some snacks to bring home to the kids, I will tell them that. So I'm going to I get asked this question all the time. And I will always say the same thing. Be honest. Be positive. Be honest. Respect where you are. So, yes, people think like you should lie and do all these crazy things to get in wherever you want to go. And you know what? If they tell you no, you have to be respectful. Tell the cast member thank you and move about your day. Don't argue. There's nothing that's more frustrating to me when I see on social media. I never swim in the resort pools, ever, unless I'm staying there. So I may talk about them, and I've stayed at almost every Disney resort, so I can talk about them honestly. I might not be staying here today, but if you want to come to one of these resorts, always be completely honest. Do not pool hop. There's no pool hopping. The resorts are made for those pools are allotted for the resort guests, and sometimes you'll be given the advice, sure, just switch from wherever you want to go. That's not going to fly. You can't stay at the Caribbean Beach and then say, I want to go swim at the Polynesian, or I had dinner at Ohana, so why can't I swim in the Polynesian pool? We're going to kick it up a little bit. Here. I wanted to get around that family a little bit. But that is a tip for walking around Walt Disney World property, Walt Disney Resorts. Always be respectful, always be honest. And that's the way I live my life. So you can, a lot of times what Adam and I do is if we want to incorporate a Walt Disney World run into our week, and this is just for fun, like we're doing it to incorporate into our morning, to have an enjoyable morning. A lot of times we will go ahead and book breakfast, and so what we'll do, boardwalk, Adam loves the trattoria. Loves the trattoria over at the boardwalk. So we will go ahead and we'll book breakfast. We'll say, I don't know, 9 o'clock, 8:30, depends what we're trying to get done in the day. And then we'll go for our walk or run. And then we'll go have, Adam loves the coffee there. And I'm pretty sure it's a press pot. I've lost track because I'm not a super big coffee drinker, but Adam is. And I think it's a press pot that he enjoys the most over there. But we'll sit outside. We'll enjoy the beautiful view of the boardwalk when we're done and have a great time. So I recommend that often. If you are here, go ahead, then you unwind, relax, have some water on the boardwalk over there at the trattoria when you're finished. And usually those mornings, we're not going all out. So we're not dripping in sweat or anything like that. So we'll go have a really great morning together, and then we'll have a nice light breakfast. And they have some light choices too over there. So usually if I go, I'm just like, oh, I'll just have a little bit of coffee with Adam and maybe some fruit or something like that. I don't know. Depends how I'm feeling and the weather. If it's really hot, I don't know that I really want a massive omelet or anything. Good morning, everybody. Thank you again for joining. It is a pleasure. Good morning, Belinda. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Julie. There is a lot of groups here at Walt Disney World in general. Lots and lots of groups over at the parks. Although I have to say, I'm kind of surprised the parks haven't been super crowded. They've been wonderful to experience recently. Very manageable. Good morning, Chantel. So we have less than 15 minutes left on our walk. Thank you again for joining. I hope you've had a wonderful week. I hope that you have gotten some walks, some runs, a little bit of exercise in today to help with that positivity in your life. Get that smile going on your face. A little bit of exercise can go a long way. And you know what I always say is, even if you get out there, even if you just are putting one foot in front of the other, you are doing a phenomenal job. You have something to be proud of. You're trying. And then maybe today is one of those days where you want to kick it up a notch. Just give it a little bit extra. I'll talk about my week this week, and I am doing the 75 hard challenge. I've talked a lot about it in some of the other walks that I've done, but please go ahead and you can watch those on the replay, and there's information there. I won't go into it again. But so I'm on day, should be 46 right now, and this was by far one of the hardest weeks for me. You'd think by now I've kind of got it nailed down, which I do. I'm getting better. Every single day, I'm getting better about making good choices, getting in the habit of being more active. Although I was active before, just making a much more concerted effort in fitness and healthy eating and a healthy lifestyle. So some of you may know, if you are new to the channel or maybe didn't watch last Sunday's live stream, I had to go out of town for business, which on this challenge, maybe this was our way of kind of trying to make it easier on ourselves. But we said we picked the time frame that we did over the summer because we knew we weren't going to be traveling. Okay, I'm gonna get ahead here of this family. Okay, there you go. There's my little jog. I'm gonna come back and see if that looks real bad, because next week I might jog a little bit. My own personal goals to make the streams a little bit faster, jog a little bit on our streams versus just walking. But I said I'm not gonna end up good morning. I'm not going to, we're gonna do this challenge during the summer time frame because we're not going out of town. So we are completely accessible to our own home, to our everything that we have. So I talked on one of my walks about being comfortable, and things are much easier when you're comfortable, right? When you're saying, this is the easy path, right? This is the easy path. So we picked to do 75 hard because it was the easy time frame for us. We didn't have to worry about traveling. We're going to be at home. Anything we need, we know where to go, we know where to get. And as life would have it, things have taken a turn. Not in a bad way, just life takes a turn. And I was required to fly out for business this week. That stinks. I'll tell you that more in a minute. And then I have to fly out again with Adam next week as well for family. So, oh my gosh. When you talk about you're getting in a routine at home, and yep, I'm working out, I'm working hard, I know what to do, because that in and of itself is hard. So if you are doing that at home and you're making the effort, you are already moving mountains, right? You're doing a fantastic job. But now, if you have to travel, or you have to, leave that comfort of your home for a day or two, and that's just me. Just this week, I was just gone 3 days. Well, technically, almost 4. But you throw kind of a wrench in it, right? You throw in a wrench, and now, oh my gosh, like your world is there's a little shock wave. And you're like, well, I'm used to doing this, and this is the time I go out and do that, because then I know maybe I get up for breakfast, or maybe I do my walk or jog in the evening, and it's now you're traveling, or maybe you have to stay at friends or family's house, and you're out of that comfort zone. And that's where your mind starts to waver. And you start thinking, oh, I'm really tired. I just did a lot of things I don't normally do, like going on an airplane, like driving in a car. I'm at Disney. And I always believe there's always time that you need to take for rest. 100%. You should always make sure that you have rest built into your fitness routines. But kind of going along with the things that kind of rocked my world, I'm working really hard on this challenge and trying to keep my motivation and my strength going. And here I am. I didn't expect, in my mind, Adam didn't tell me to do this, but in my mind, I want to take early flights so I could get out there quickly, and I wanted to get home as quickly as I could. But that meant I had to take red eyes, where I was flying in the middle of the night. But I wanted those decisions because that gave me the opportunity to attend to my family and be with the kids and do the things that I wanted to do. So that I learned a lot of lessons in what I'm doing today about, you know, when you are comfortable and you are just starting to get into your training. And if you're training for RunDisney, I give so much kudos to those that travel here, which is probably 90% of the people who participate in RunDisney, because they're training at home and then they are traveling, and they may be on different time zones. Like I was on different time zones when this past week, and they're running these races, and although it's fun and it gets your adrenaline going, it throws you off, and it's something to think about. Like, well, now I don't have my refrigerator in my pantry, which I know is stocked with all the right things, and you got to think about that. You got to pre-plan, like, well, I'm traveling, so I need to make sure I have this that works for me, and these foods are the best for me. But if you're traveling, you don't always have access to something so easy. And those are the little things that I thought today, don't give up. Don't give up when things change and when things become uncomfortable. That's kind of my motivation topic for today, is don't give up when something is out of the ordinary, because it's really easy. I will tell you, my coworker, she's such a good friend to me, and she was like, oh my gosh, Kristen, she's an early riser and I'm not. But, you know, we'd get back to the hotel and it'd be 8 o'clock and she'd be like, I'm exhausted, because, you know, that would be 10 o'clock Eastern and I was out in Utah on mountain time. She's like, I'm exhausted. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to bed. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I got to go out and do my workout because I committed to this. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to do this. And it was difficult. There was, while I'm sitting there like lacing up my shoes, there's nothing more that I wanted than to just sit there in my hotel room. I had no obligations. Like, my work day was done. I had some very long work days, but work days were done. And here, jog past here as well. And mentally, I had a lot going on this week as far as work is concerned, and trying to do the best that I could with things that I had planned and reasons I was out there. And it's tough, and that's what these walks are about telling you that you can, that your mind is stronger than you think it is, and your body, and you are doing a fantastic job. And every little bit, you have the opportunity, like me, to say, wow, there's so many reasons in your head why you shouldn't, but I will give you the same challenge that I made for myself. I would say to myself, you know, there's a lot of reasons why I should not, but there are equally reasons that far outweigh the good and positive, far outweigh, because weeks from now, days from now, I'm going to look back and say, that was pretty awesome. I'm really proud of myself. I overcame it, and I said, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to get it done. And maybe it's something like, maybe you don't do your workout, or maybe you don't change your eating a huge amount, because not everything has to be a huge change, right? This is your 2-minute warning. We've got about 2 minutes, so if this is your moment, go ahead, make that extra effort right now in the last 2 minutes. But this is your moment to go ahead and set your mind to say, I can do this. And I'm going to make this happen. So when you are uncomfortable or there's new things in your life, yes, Kara mentioned tough things at work, like as far as school is concerned. Those are things that you need to account for, but you are so much beyond that. You can make that happen, and you can do it. And even if it's not the crazy intense workout that you want it to be, one foot in front of the other in those moments. Just say, and you know what? I have to say, when I was out in Utah, one of the nights, I was just, oh my gosh, I was so dead. I was so dead. And I said, no, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to get out there. And sure enough, that was the best workout of the whole week this week. I went up on a trail that went hundreds of feet into the air, up into the mountain. I didn't realize that the trail was going uphill, like straight uphill. It was intense. And same thing, I'm like, I'm already out here. I should have gone back down the mountain and said, nope, I'm going to kind of stay in the valley. But I ended up spending more time because I had such a great time out and about. And I'll never forget that because I learned a lot while I was walking on this trail. Yes, I was by myself, but there were other people. And once you get out there, you start to think to yourself, look at it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. And I'm having a good time, and this was worth it. So there will be those times, and just know that you are worth every bit amount of the time that you put into yourself. You are worth every moment about making yourself better, about staying positive, about staying happy. And you're an amazing person, no matter what you accomplish. Those are the things that you need to realize, because that's what's going to keep you going, because you are. So if nobody's told you that today, I am telling you that right now. And so is everybody in this chat and everybody who's watching this video on the replay. And with that, I'm going to get out of the sun. We are at 45 minutes exactly. It has been an unbelievable pleasure to walk with you guys this morning. You guys make me so happy. You keep me doing this. And I hope that you guys are enjoying all of these moments too. If you would like to watch more videos like this, Adam and I have a playlist of POVs that are set to music. I highly recommend them, from around Walt Disney World property. And just remember, you are amazing. You can do this. And every day is a new day. And today is a new day. So thank you guys for hanging out with me at Disney. I can't wait to be back with you guys on Sunday with Adam. I'll come in front of the camera a little bit. So I will see you guys all very soon. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for that. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys on the next stream. Goodbye.